chance to hear it, so let her tell it. People on the streets say Sabrina speaks. Tune into the show, she will let you know. Tell all your friends and family. Real talk is no joke. You get the news straight up from grassroots and concerns. You will hear some people gone. So tell all your friends to tune in to
Good evening, Cayman. I'm Sabrina Turner, and welcome to Sabrina Speaks, your daily dose of clarity, truth, and community insights. Every weekday from 5 to 6:30 p.m., we're tackling the issues that affect you, from national headlines to grassroots concerns. Whether you're in traffic or winding down your day, this is your chance to hear it straight and speak your truth. So buckle up, Cayman. We're not holding back.
This is the show. We gotta let you know. Now we got to go.
And now here's Sabrina.
Unfold and inspirations take stage. It is a pleasure to be here with you on this Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. I hope that you're having a wonderful start of a new week. And, I hope that you had a fabulous weekend. Welcome home to all of those who are returning from vacation. And hi to those who are stretching it out as long as they can, just that last drop of vacay before all of your kids go back to school, and you've chosen to spend your afternoon with us no matter where you're actually choosing to have vacation. So remember to share with me some of your holiday photos. I would love to see where some of you went and all this fun experiences that you had as well. So don't be, I want you to share them with me, and you can do that. I'm going to just copy the information here so that you can share your experiences with me. And I'd love to be a part of that journey with you to get to reminisce since I was here working. But if you're loving the content shared in this space, please like, share, and subscribe. And so you don't miss any episode, you can follow me on YouTube at Sabrina Speaks, the number 12. And on Facebook, you can look for me under Sabrina Turner, and it has community activists. We're also streaming live on all CMR, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram platforms as well. So, thank you as well to all of those new followers and subscribers. This place is yours and we love you. 936-8255 is the number to call and to join in on the discussion. And I'm so excited for the conversation that we're about to have today. But again, just a quick heads up, the content that you're about to hear, including any discussions or opinions from myself or my guests, is intended solely for general information and entertainment purposes. It's not a substitute for professional legal, medical, or financial advice. And I encourage you to consult with a qualified professional for specific concerns you may have. Sabrina Speaks disclaims all liability for any decisions or actions taken in reliance on the information presented here. So yes, let's see who's with us. I know we're going to have a guest joining us today, and I'm excited about that as well. So let's see who's early. Let me remove this because we are definitely going to be sending some birthday shout outs today. Connie, you're the first to comment in class today. Hi, I hope you had a fabulous weekend, Connie. Yes, and happy Monday to you as well. And I shared all of the detail information there so you can share with me your pictures, your videos, whatever. You can send them to me by email. You can send them to WhatsApp, 936-8255. But yes, it is a pleasure to have you here commenting And I'm wishing you a very productive week as well. Now, you know how this goes. Yes. We got to send big shout outs. I mean, Facebook has been going crazy for all of the persons who've celebrated birthdays so far for this month in August. But definitely today is a special one for our founder, CEO of CMRTV.com. Sandra here is celebrating her birthday. Yes, big shout outs to her as she's on the mend. And I didn't know that Eric, yes, Mr. Turner. He also celebrated a birthday today. So all of you are wondering, well, who's this magic person or who's the secret guy? That's that's Mr. Eric. Yeah. So he and Sandra is celebrating birthdays today. And oh, what a day it's been on social media. And thank you. Thank you publicly for showing all of the love and sharing all the birthday wishes that you have on our social media platform. And, you know, as a family here on the Sabrina Speaks, we just love how you actually appreciate one another. But yes, it's been a busy day for these two people that I have in my life. And I want to wish them all the best. And to all of those persons, you know, who are actually celebrating their birthdays in the month of August. If I know them, I will shout you out. What I don't know, I can't do it. But for all of those who have celebrated a birthday, happy belated birthday to you from all of us here at the Sabrina Speaks family. And for those that are upcoming, I'm hoping I get a heads up before. But if I don't, to all of those celebrating birthdays in the month of August, happy birthday to each of you. Definitely. So yeah, we've had a day full of festivities, and I understand that some people use the entire month to celebrate their birthday. What's interesting is that Eric is not one of those persons who, he's not one of those that likes all of the big fanfare or nothing like that. And he was quite adamant, I want nothing. But he didn't put the disclaimer, I don't want no social media shout outs. Da-da! And I did it. I did it anyway. So that was funny as heck. He didn't expect it, and I did it. So yes, Connie. Yeah. Hey, Marshall. Good afternoon to you. It is a pleasure to have you here. Connie, oh Lord, you know, this go you trouble, you know, Connie. How you call the man Mr. Sabrina? He has his own identity, eh? He has his own identity. His name is Eric, Mr. Eric. So yes, Mr. Sabrina, what a mess. You are trouble between you and Jim. Two of you are gonna put you in timeout. But yes, it has been a fun day, and I'm hoping that all the love that is shared here is felt even in their workplaces. I know for sure with Sandra's job and with his job that all of his coworkers extended happy birthday greetings to him, and likewise everybody else in our community. So yes, that pretty much take care of the housekeeping for today. And we just have to be so thankful, to be honest. The Lord spared our lives to see, you know, another year, and we're optimistic. But we have honestly, we have so much to be thankful and grateful for that you don't take life for granted. And I'm so happy that I'm a part of this family. You are a part of my life, and we can share this experience together. So yeah, just let me get my other people online. For those of you who are actually watching what's happening in the region, you would know that today, August 18th, not only Sandra and Eric's birthday plus so much more, but there's also the nomination day for in Jamaica. Their election will be on September 3rd. And today is the nomination day for all of their persons. There we go. I just got that link up and going. That is their nomination there over in Jamaica. So big shout outs to all of those persons who are actually putting themselves up to run for political office over there. Oh my God, the whole culture and experience with Jamaican politics is so different from ours here, to be honest. And let's see what we got here going on. And it's just amazing to see the difference in dynamics of our politics here in the Cayman Islands, and the politics over there. I swear to God, it's like a concert. I was watching the live stream. I got to also give you an update as to the Cara Festa home show which, by the way, let me digress a little bit. Charity begins at home. Uh, Congratulations to everyone who took the time out on Saturday evening to really show their love for that was Cayman Pride. I was so impressed at the overwhelming support of persons that came out to the Harkwell Theatre on Saturday evening to show their appreciation for the delegation of persons that are going over to Barbados to showcase all of the musical talents in our arts in Barbados as of the 21st, because that's from the 22nd to the 29th. And the charter is going on the 21st. But the performances were outstanding. Forgiven when Vintisha, working in the ministry, and the minister Isaac Rankin, they explained how this whole trip unfold, and corporate partners, Cayman Airways, just stepping in and making it a reality instead of hop, skipping, and jumping, going through the US or other jurisdictions before going straight to Barbados. It's amazing how they just pull this together, and they have a whole group of approximately 85 that are going over there. Heat turned it up. Vashti, oh my God, I'm so proud to be Caymanian. That song, the Cayman Folk Singers, the UCCI Dance Company, it was amazing, but there was just something. And then when you hear the blowing of the conch shells at the beginning of the event as well, there's just something unique about when you see a combination of that really shows our culture, who we are as Caymanians. And when Vashti sings that song, I'm so proud to be Caymanian, there was just something magical. There was just something in the room. And I want to thank them all for understanding the purpose and taking up this opportunity to showcase us internationally and be a part of this group that is going over to Barbados. So yes, thank you to everyone who came out to watch them perform. I saw a number of people there. I did my best, but doing my first, what a mess that was. That was a Facebook live stream. And poor me, didn't take my gimbal. No, I was just doing it from my hand. And I just wanted to share the experience because the feeling that I got from the Harkwell Theatre, I just wanted to share that with you through the lens. And oh boy, did Verdley put it down with that song where he was doing his little cheating thing. And it's just amazing. Go back, watch it. There's lots of it. I see Miss Aldine. I saw Benita. I see a lot of people who were there sharing it on their Facebook too, if I did a horrible job with the video. But I can assure you the next event that I go to and I do a live stream from Facebook, you can see big improvement. But I did my best. I shared it with you there on the live stream. And just going back, but thank you so much. All the best to them. And we are going to be bringing you highlights of that trip over there in Barbados, as promised by that delegation that is going over there. So yeah. But yeah, just putting it with what's happening regionally in Jamaica. Today's their nomination day. And I watched the live stream that they had of the PNP, I think Saturday night, where they launched their manifesto. The PNP is the orange one, and then the green one is the People's National Party, and the JLP. But I watched the orange group on Saturday night, and it was, again, similarities with what's here and all that sort of stuff, the needs and what is expected of where housing and all that sort of stuff, infrastructure works. Of course, the Cayman Islands in many cases, where especially infrastructure, of water access and all of that sort of stuff is so different. We're thank God to be a jurisdiction where we're advanced, but it's quite interesting having come from that space to listen to these rallies, and you're seeing it and hearing it from a different perspective. And I have much more respect now. I pay more attention. I honestly listen, and I get to understand. But the dynamics between the cultures is so unique. We have our own style, and they definitely have their own style in delivery. So it's amazing to see it unfold, and I want to wish them all the best, both parties, and may the best man win. It just shows democracy, and I hope that they will have a crime-free, a peaceful election, and that the people will get exactly what they wanted. Yeah, so today I'm hoping to be joined by a dynamic guest, an incredible guest, life coach and a brilliant design marketing strategist. He is someone who truly understands how to unlock both personal and potential business growth. And of course, I'm talking about Mr. Rayon L. Francis. I'm hoping he's not having any issues getting on. Rayon, if you're having any problems, please let me know. I can resend the link to you. Let me see here. But yes, he's going to be a part of the CMR. Log back in. He's going to be a part of the CMR family as one of our content creators, and he's going to tell us more. We all know that September 1st kicks off where we go live, the station, and he's one of those persons. And I have given him the opportunity to come on this platform to let you know what is in store, what he has in store. And we're going to do a deep dive with Rayon into some of the game-changing topics as we explore the power of authenticity, and it will all make sense, and why he's chosen this brand, and we'll get to know him more and to even know the secrets almost, because he's also into digital marketing, and how he can apply that to his own to your own life and business. And looking at this exclusive, pretty much, we'll be getting a sneak peek into his show. So it's going to be insightful. I've had a very good conversation with this young man, and I'm excited to see what he's going to bring forward, given his background in media, digital marketing, and then all of a sudden, just speaking to him and how he came about with being a content creator and having this drive to be a part of the CMR platform. So, Rayon, I'm not seeing you at all for some reason. So can you try to log back in so that we can get you showcased here? Yeah. So yes, I'm encouraging you to join into this conversation once we get Rayon here logged in. And yeah. So you may see in circulation as well, until Rayon gets in, all of the hype, and I congratulate this current administration for successfully reaching their 100-day mark. And you're seeing flooding social media pages, their testimonials of their experience. I love the fact that the honeymoon is still on and that we are seeing some movements. They're optimistic. You're seeing the numbers coming in regards to our finances and all of that great stuff. So I know just what they're working on now. They're very busy trying to do the budget, and a lot of them are actually being presented by their ministries, respective ministries, and seeing exactly how much they're going to be discussing around the table and all that sort of stuff. But, you give kudos where it's due, and congratulations to them for making it here thus far. And we can only support them, because I don't want them to fail. When they fail, we all fail. And I'm really going to wish them all the best. And I'm going to send this link again. I wish them all the best, and we're here to help them so that no one is left behind. We're going to be looking at how we can actually share, educate, and inform you, the public, once we are aware of it. And should there be anything that is pressing you as well, by all means, this platform is here to discuss. We are not here to tear down. We're not here to come after the sitting administration, because when we do them an injustice of talking bad about our own, we're tearing down everyone. But if there's topical issues that needs to be ventilated, that needs to be discussed, and we can do some research on it, and you have the right questions, you have the right concerns, we're going to bring it up here, and we're going to have the mature discussion. If it requires some fact finding, we will do that right here. But it is not to go at, because I can speak for Sabrina Speaks. We're here to educate, inform, and enlighten you as we continue to evolve and support the government as much as we can. But it requires your participation. And this is why oftentimes there will be subject matters that come up and topics that we will discuss that is in sometimes very hard to have. And it may seem to those who may not be politically mature enough that we're coming after them, or there's an axe to grind, or no, that is not the case. We are highlighting issues, bringing it to the forefront, and we're ventilating it in this space respectfully. And you have to agree to disagree. That's quite healthy in any democracy. And to me, if you want participatory democracy, you shouldn't have any issues at all in certain conversations coming up. That's the space that you're in. So I want to implore you to not shy away from asking the right questions of your elected official. But I also want to encourage you, which is what I see a huge deficit in the participation of our local community, is that when certain discussions are being had, many a times in town hall forums and public meetings, no one shows up. So you cannot talk about these topical issues when they're being debated on the floor of Parliament. When, there we go. I see you now, Rayon. There you go. Yeah, there you go. So I want you to make sure that you can participate, when that time comes. And don't do it in hindsight. Do not do it in hindsight, because it helps nobody. And there's no sense of yapping and going on like crazy people. When you're given the opportunity to participate, now it's a different thing. If you're not giving the opportunity, or something is done ad hoc, and public participation, especially serious national topics, and you're not giving the opportunity, then you have a right to go to your representative and do an outcry to say, no, hold on, slow down. Where's our feedback? That's quite normal. Again. So we've now got Rayon in the house. Hi, Rayon. Hi. Are you hearing us, Rayon? Rayon? You're not hearing us. I'm saying hi. Are you hearing us? Oh boy. We're looking like we're having some connection issues there with our guests. Let me pull him out and let's have him backstage. Oh boy. Please bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to give this young man a, there we go. He's back.
Hi, Sabrina.
Oh, there you go. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. You weren't hearing us there for a minute.
Apologies for the delay. I think, I'm not sure what's been happening. Maybe it's my internet or something, but yeah.
Oh my goodness. Look, welcome to the world of content creation. You got to be ready. You got to be able to fill the space. You got to be able to chat. And if it's one good thing I'm taking away from Sandra, you got to know how to fill the space. And sometimes you got to pull it. You got to be constantly on it. This is why you got to be prepared for the what ifs. Anything can happen. But you know what? Without further ado, it is a pleasure to have you on the Sabrina Speaks show. Welcome to the CMRTV.com family as a content creator. And we want to hear more about what's in store.
Thank you, Sabrina. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure being here. And I want to say congratulations on all your success that you've been having on the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Are you still hearing me?
Yes, I am. I'm still hearing you.
Okay, perfect. I'm as I was saying, congratulations on all your recent success. And I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be a part of it. I'm happy to be able to bring content to life. And I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. So, Rayon, I'm going to be sharing some slides with our people, and I'm going to try to follow along with you. And that's what I admired with you. This is actually your branding, living authentically, empowering you to come home to yourself. You're a life coach and you're going to be a podcast host, but let's get to know you a little
Yes.
bit more. What was the defining moment or an experience that shaped you pretty much into the person you are today? Here you are entering in the world of content creation. Let us get to know you a little bit more. I think he's having some serious issues with his internet. Oh boy.
I'm back.
Yeah, you're having some internet issues.
Yeah.
Oh
Out of
boy.
all the days, right?
Yeah. Oh, Murphy's Law. See what I tell you? Just go straight into telling us about you. We want to know about you.
Yes. How much time we got?
We got until 7, and with my crowd, once you can hold them, we can be here till 10. But that's not going to happen.
Okay, perfect. So my name is Rayon, as Sabrina said before. I'm originally from Jamaica. I am a content creator, and I'm also the host of Authentic, a show that we'll be bringing to CMR. It's about healing, transformation, personal development. Um, One-on-one story, just everyday life story that people go through, and we really don't have these conversations. All of it is rooted in the human compassion, empathy, love. And I think it's important as Caribbean folks and Caribbean people, we take up the mantle of really having some conscious conversations. Authentic actually is something that I've been working on for the last 2 years. If you, yes, it is actually a concept that I had for the last 2 years. And I really didn't know how I was going to do it. But you know, the universe, it works in mysterious ways. The opportunity came and I jumped at it. And I'm looking to be a voice and creating a platform where young people like myself feel welcome, feel comfortable to be able to open up and express themselves and live their authentic and optimal life.
Now, what actually, looking at you, and we're not
Yes,
going to timeline you because age is just a number,
correct.
but what actually shaped you into the person that you are today? Some people may say, well, why is she asking him that question? You can't see he young? Go ahead. I'm like holding on with all of my little fingernails that your internet holds up. Oops. I got to see which provider he's with, you know. Sandra, we got to hook him up. Oh, Lord. Okay. We're going to do our best with making sure. I think there's some serious streaming issues with our guest. So let me remove him and he'll come back in. Yeah. But I'm so excited for this guest, to be honest. He's definitely on the right track in the road. I'm just getting a lot of messages right now, but I want messages from Rayon. Oh, Lord. Where is he at? Oh, boy. Rayon, if you're hearing me, my dear, log back in for me so that we can get this. I don't know if you have multiple devices streaming right now, but you may want to remove some of your devices based on your load of your internet. Hear me, you would think I'm an IT person. Oof. See, 6 weeks at this, and I'm telling people what to remove. You go, girl. Log back in. Yeah, I think there's something that's just pulling him. And I hope he doesn't have videos. Here we go. Let's see what we got in the background here. Rayon. Nope. Ladies and gentlemen, please bear with us. Technical difficulties. There, we got him back. Oh, Jesus,
Hold on.
it wasn't you I were looking for.
I was gonna sit in the
That's
back.
funny as heck. That is funny as heck.
Oh my god! Oh, how did it pop me in
Oh,
right
there
away?
he is. I don't know, because you're fast.
Okay.
Hi.
There. Oh, but look. Yes.
I didn't mean to. But that you click in that new link. Just
Yeah,
pop
I
yes.
honestly don't know what's happening.
You know what? That's because she's lurking in the back. Get
I'm
off.
gonna sit in the back room and listen.
I'm gonna remove her. Bang. Rayon, let me give you some
Are you
advice.
able to hear me?
Yes. If you have other things in the back, maybe on the device that you're using, maybe a video or something, you want to just cut them right now so that we can get all of the data just going to this platform. Yeah. So if you got anything else running in the background right now that's pulling on your data, you wanna just remove it so that we can get over this conversation. Otherwise, it's gonna keep booting you off. So the beautiful presentation that I have of you, what are you hearing me? Oh, he's frozen. Damn, we wanted a passport picture. We got it. There we go. Rayon, I don't know what's going on. I don't know, but this is funny. You know what? We may need Sandra to fill the gap here until Rayon sorts out his stuff. Since it's her birthday and we got content. See? Yeah. I'm hearing you. Your internet is coming in and out. That's the problem. It's very spotty. So I don't know if you have multiple screens open, but there's something pulling on your data. On your download and upload. Yeah, there's something behind the scenes that's really pulling on your he's gone again.
Hello.
I could pull you in now though, you brute. So you got yourself with a picture. We might as well call this Comedy Monday on your birthday.
I feel like using that Adele line. Hello. It's me. in her deep, beautiful voice.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy with Rayon.
Hopefully he can get it sorted out.
Yeah, I'm
The other thing you
hoping.
might try to do is try to enter without video, because sometimes if it's just too much wherever he's at, just
Pretty
come
much
in
what you're doing.
because then that'll use less resources.
Yeah. Whatever it is, it's something pulling on his internet though.
Yeah, it's just bad connection.
Let me tell him enter without.
Yeah, that might help. Because then at least you can hear him.
Yeah.
If nothing else. I mean, we want to see him. That would be nice.
Yeah, I got a couple pictures I can put up with him.
Yeah, he can fill out his little thing. Evelyn says frozen with Sabrina. What a mess.
What a mess. Oh, Lord.
What a name. What a name.
This is funny. Today's funny.
Me. So, yes, it's my birthday. You know, I've been responding to all of these amazing greetings. Thank you guys so much. I have like a million messages here, there, and everywhere. But you know, I was listening to Rayon, and something he said about the universe just seeming to align.
Yeah.
And I thought that was such an impactful thing to say. And it's so true. Sometimes you feel like, and I always say it, you're right where you're supposed to be, because somebody once did that to me. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. And so I didn't even know that he kind of had, I think he might have told me that he had the idea for a while, but I don't know that he said 2 years.
He said he's been working 2 years.
Yeah, he just said that. Yeah. And I was like, whoa, that's pretty wild. Because you know, this is the whole thing about the CMR TV, Sabrina, is that sometimes people didn't even think of this, such as yourself, as this was, you know, their future, their path. And then other people have been thinking about it, but they didn't know how to bring it to fruition.
It's true. But you freezing now too? Oh God, yeah.
Oh,
all right, you're back.
Yeah. Now, you know, I'm supposed to have super fast internet, girl. So
but I tell you what, if it's affecting you, something's wrong.
Yeah. So I figure, you know, this is one of the things that we really are aiming for, is to give people the space to be able to bring amazing content to all sorts of different listeners. And there's something for everyone. That's the part that I absolutely love. I really believe that there's something for everyone.
At some point, I know you've said this, but repetition is key. People still don't understand the concept. I got some questions. Oh, I didn't realize you were working for Sandra. Can you break that down?
She's not working for me. She's working for herself.
Yeah, I tried to break it down, and then you can see it in people. Like, what do you mean? But you're on Sandra's show. You're what do you mean you're not working for her?
So it is a little bit strange, I think, because for me it isn't strange, but I guess for people who haven't seen the concept working or at play, they're thinking it's strange. So essentially what we are doing is we're bringing independent content creators under a singular umbrella, right? So these people don't work for me. They're independent contractors. They're businesses as far as I'm concerned. And I've told them, subject to any legal restrictions based on their immigration status and stuff like that, that they must go out there, get their business license and monetize their shows, get ads, get commercials, whatever, you know, they want to do. Some may not wish to do that. That's entirely a matter for them, but they don't work for me.
Yeah, so, like I tell people, I said, if you want to sponsor the show, you're not sponsoring CMR.
No,
you're going to enter a contractual agreement.
I'm not taking
Media Limited. Yeah, which is an independent company. I try to tell people, Sabrina Speaks is under Bridge Media Limited. It's an independent company.
Own company.
Yeah. So I tried to break it down for people.
Yeah. So the idea is you can advertise on CMR if you wanted to, but you don't have to. You can support the individual content creator of your choice, which means that you could support Sabrina, you can support Rayon. You know, like I said, I'm encouraging them to do things the correct way, getting their business licenses in place and having all of those things properly sorted before they start selling advertising packages and taking clients on. And, you know, I've had this meeting with all of them, kind of walking through some of the logistics of what it is that they need to do and what they need to consider to make sure that they're fully compliant, because we want everyone to be obviously fully compliant with the laws of this country. But subject to that, you know, they can sell advertising, they can do promotions, kind of anything really that they want to do. That the world is their oyster in the space of being a content creator. It is, you know, I think a beautiful space to be in. It's going to open up a lot of opportunities for people. Some just want to be able to share their ideas and have conversations with people. It's that simple for them. Like they may not necessarily need to monetize it, but they're like, you know what? I have something that I love doing. I have a skill. And so I want to be able to share that with others. And so this platform will give them the opportunity to do just that. And so every single person is responsible for their own content. They have, you know, contracts in terms of distribution and, you know, just general rules, like they can't be engaged in certain types of content that would be unlawful in any case. But outside of that, we are encouraging as much individuality as possible and for people to really be able to express themselves in the way that they wish to do so. So, you know, Rayon's show, I thought when he was telling me about the concept, was very, very different and unique. And I thought, I like this. You know, this sounds like this could totally be something different. And the other thing, let me turn on my light. It's like, oh, let there be light. I think the other amazing thing about Rayon is that he's actually a male in the space. So you know, sometimes we kind of see like the female voices and the female faces, but I think to be a young man talking about being authentically living an authentic life, I think is really quite amazing. So Rayon, you look like you're in a better location because even the quality of your stream is now better. So take it away, honey chill, take it away.
There we go. See, she comes in, she fills the gap for you, Rayon. You got to thank her on her birthday.
Thank you so much, Sandra, and happy birthday again.
Thank you.
Much better, Rayon. Much.
Thank you.
For God's sake. Thank you. Sandra, you can let yourself out now.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. I will continue to enjoy.
This is funny. This is so funny. Let yourself out.
Thank you.
Now, wait on. Before we're
Yeah.
going to put all positive energy out in the universe right
Yes,
now.
please.
Yeah, just go straight into your multifaceted career and what started you. You said that this is the divine intervention, the power of the universe, that this actual space came about, and here you are now as a content creator and authentic.
That is correct. I wanted to touch a little bit on the question because you were asking me a question before all of this, and you asked me about age. You were saying something about age.
Your age. And people may say, well, what's she asking him for? Because I asked, what shaped you into the person you are today? And some may say, well, he's pretty young. What do you know? But here you are evolving. What was that defining moment or that experience that shaped you into the person that you are right now?
Well, I contribute that firstly, I have to say my superhero, which is my mom. And we all know the stories of having a Caribbean parent. My mom was my superhero. She was that driving force that helped me with my core principles of, being kind to others, empathy, love, and really having that true acceptance of other people. But also, I think I contributed to my grandma because, yes, I saw the transition of her life. I saw the transition of her life when I was younger. Mom, growing up in a Caribbean home, there's a lot of things that we don't address. And unfortunately, a lot of people kind of go on with their lives with a sense of resentment and bitterness and anguish, and they're always upset about something. And I think I saw my grandma transition from that. Unfortunately, she suffered from a stroke while I was in elementary. And I was, as in the Caribbean, we would say her eye and her foot and her ears. I was that grandchild who was beside her through the entire process, the entire journey. And I think I contributed a lot in terms of her mindset and how she shifted and how she looked at the world. I think during that period, interacting with her, I think that was probably the most optimal she has lived in terms of there's a smile on her face. Now she's optimistic. You can have a conversation with her. You see the human side of her. And I think seeing that as a child, that does something to you.
Right.
And as I mentioned to you before in our own personal discussion, a big part of who I am as a person now, I contributed to living vicariously through others. And it's the stories that I've seen around me and the persons who have influenced my life, which is my grandmother, my aunt, my mom, my dad, my brothers, my sisters, and everyone. I think we, as Caribbean kids, we grow in a society or in a bubble in some sense where
we're insulated almost.
A lot of things are instilled. And a lot of the principles and the beliefs and the thought process and how we look at the world is based on someone else's perspective. And transitioning from that, becoming a young adult, I think I came to the crossroad where I had to make that conscious choice of, am I going to do it their way? Or am I going to really understand wholeheartedly, what do I want? How do I want to live? What do I want to do? And yeah, that's really the main trigger of really who I am in the whole authentic process, and really why I developed the brand, which is Real Life Coaching. It's really unlocking your optimal life, really truly accepting yourself and really understanding that life is a continuum. You will not know everything, but it's really key to actually have some level of momentum in terms of knowing what you want or trying to live your optimal life based on the experiences that you've seen around you. And I know it's very cliche, but they will always say, you're the mastermind of your story. And that is so true. You are so true. Until the day you take the responsibility and really own it, honor your story, whether good or bad, it's still a part of who you are. It doesn't define you.
Right. It doesn't. And you know what? Coming from a small community as ours, there's so much societal pressures. You get pressured from high school, college, university, the workplace, that being able to really zone in on you and do you, I can understand where authentic is huge for you and why you've embraced this brand the way you have.
Yes. I think a big part of it is as I said before, that period when you really had to sit with yourself and ask yourself the questions like, what am I doing? Do I really want to do this? Where am I going? Like, does this make me happy? Am I fulfilled?
Right.
And I consider myself as an old soul. So I really never really fitted in all my other peer groups. So I had to, as they would say, if there's not a door open, you create your own.
Of course.
And I believe firmly in individuality, and I'm trying to create my own lane. And I know there is a group and a niche of people who feel the same way. So I'm trying to be the beacon where people know that, we could do this.
Now let's go into this new podcast that on cmrtv.com, and September 1st is pretty much knocking at the door. What has it been like this far? Understanding you have been working on creating a podcast of this nature for 2 years, as you alluded to in the introduction. But here, the time has come. This platform has presented itself. What kind of topics will you be exploring on the show, or what kind of guests would you be looking at trying to be showcased on your platform?
Great question. Going back to what you've said in terms of the concept of the last 2 years and creating authentic, a little backstory. Each of the episodes are titled based on different phases in my life and the journey I had to take and what I had to overcome and unlock. Like for the first episode, it's the introduction episode, just me introducing, why I started the show, a little back history of who I am as a person. The second episode speaks about the weight we carry, those invisible weights, the things that we don't know what's going on. You're angry, you don't know what you're angry for. And I could tell you, I was that person once, and that's something that I had to deal with, but I had to transition out of that. So each episode actually is a documentation of my own journey.
As you evolve and you're learning, yes.
And I am learning. So the first episode I have a really great psychologist. She's from Jamaica. Her name is Talisa Johnson. And we speak about the invisible weights. We go in and talk about, conscious living. She shares some other core principles that people could use to understand how to live your optimal life, but also be able to deal with some of the issues and the implications of the baggage that we bring. And she also shares her personal story because, as I said before, a big part of authentic is living vicariously through other people's experiences. Because I want people to know this is real life. It's real stories, real people, real hard conversations.
Yeah.
And I want to trigger that momentum of a space of honesty, empathy, and kindness. Because, a little bit of kindness just makes the world a little bit brighter.
That's true. And there's no mask. You want the real person, the organic person who to be able to showcase, to make everyone understand that there is really a true individual under there. Many a times you find yourself pretty much going into character to fit into a certain space in an environment. How often do you really show your authentic self? Good for you.
Thank you. That is so true. I do agree with you. I think we all struggle with fitting into the norms and the molds. And I mean, the molds are constructed for conformity. And I know it's very unconventional sometimes when you step outside of that, but it takes bravery, it takes honesty, and it also takes acceptance. Because firstly, you have to also accept that you're not living your optimal life. Something needs to change. And it's when you come to this realization, that's when you could take those steps. It's not a leap. It is incremental steps. It doesn't matter how far you are in your journey. And healing is a continuous process. It's not a one day everything's done and oh my God, I'm healed forever. No, even I'm still on my personal journey and there's still things that I'm learning about myself. But guess what? I have grace. I'm kind with myself. I have empathy for myself. And as I always say, it's easy for me to accept and embrace other people because I've embraced myself, pluses and minuses.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing that you say that because you said that you're on your own journey.
Yes.
And I remember an interview that Sandra had with me during the campaign that we actually went there. And she was asking me some very poignant questions that allowed me to really just articulate the true me, not the MP me, not the candidate on a campaign. And that conversation just went someplace else. So to be honest with you, I'm looking forward to my interview with you. And and I'm so happy that you have this platform and we're in this space as a family, because then people would get to realize that what you see at the end, many a times the tabloids, the pictures, the post, it's only just for that moment. But is that really the true image of what's going on? Because people would never know what you go through, even as a content creator behind the scenes. You're preparing and you have to be ready for the inevitable. But going in and as people prepare to tune into your show, getting excited for September 1st, who is really your ideal listener? And what do you hope to gain from, what do you hope them to gain from tuning into your podcasts?
Well, my ideal listener, I would say it's a broad demographic, because as I said, healing is not really a fix. It doesn't have an identity in terms of a faith. Healing is whenever you actually start or make those first steps in order to make a change. Authentic is the podcast, a home, a safe space for anyone who feels as if they don't fit in, anyone who feels as if there must be something more than this. I want to create a space, as I said before, that triggers these conversations, but triggers a space of acceptance, where people feel as if they could just be themselves. Come as you are, as the Bible says. And to the second part of your question, which was what I wish for people to get from this, is to know that you are loved. You're number one. You're one of one. You are. We live in an imperfect world, and you should not put so much expectations on yourself to be perfect. You should put expectations on yourself to be real, and that's what authentic is about. Realness. It's okay. It's okay to not be okay, but healing is a process, and it's one incremental step at a time. And you want to put yourself in a position to go on this journey, because the sooner you live your optimal and authentic life, it's the sooner you'll really start seeing the world from a different perspective. And it makes life better, not just for you, but also for the persons around you.
Right. Now, in a world that often, and this may sound almost like we've been here, but I'm allowing you to go deeper into this. In a world that often pretty much rewards conformity, but we just conform to whatever. How do you coach? Because going into the coaching side of your life now, how do you coach your clients to embrace pretty much their true selves, especially when it's scary or goes against the grain? I mean, you alluded to raising it in a household that it was a culture where I think in our person conversation, be seen and not heard.
Correct.
How do you break that mold and allow persons in your coaching that it's okay to embrace their true selves?
Firstly, you have to have that conversation with yourself in terms of what are the things that are holding you back. And it's really tackling those limiting beliefs. It's those conversations that we have with ourselves. It's the words we utter to ourselves. Are we choosing kindness? Are we choosing rashness? Is this rational or is this illogical? So first we have to tackle those foundational issues, which is, Who am I as a person? What are the things that I'm saying to myself? What are the conversations I'm saying to myself? What are my principles? How do I want to be seen in the world? So we first have to understand and address those foundational questions before we tackle the more advanced issues and get to the point of acceptance. Because first you have to almost dissect yourself in its entirety and go in and understand what is really going on here and reconstruct yourself now with the principles that, you know, put you on that path or that trajectory to feeling a little bit more optimistic, having that empathy, that love.
Right. Yeah. So in regards to pretty much loving themselves and overthinking, how prevalent do you think that is, of persons really overthinking and underestimating themselves?
That, as I said before, that goes back to the stories that we tell ourselves. Because I know, you know, sometimes we'll have people where you would say, oh, you look really nice, you look really fine, but you can't tell them nothing. In their head, they're convinced that, no, I'm not attractive. I know I'm not, you know. So it really goes back to those conversations where you really have to be able to address those and confront those and be able to rewrite that story and take on the mantle of saying, I usually do things this way, but I'm taking the initiative to actually reconstruct how I think and how I show up in the world. But also overthinking is in some way a natural thing. But it depends, as I said, it's the conversations that you have. Those are the things that we have to address, and those are the things that we have to highlight and understand. It's okay to you know, have conversations with yourself, but are you being kind? Are you being empathetic? Are you giving yourself grace?
Now, leading up to the start of this reality of September 1st, were there any moments where you're actually like, oh my God, I'm like, you're second guessing yourself? Besides today don't count. Today doesn't count.
No, because as I said before, I'm on my own journey, and I can proudly say at this point in my life, everything else has pushed me into this direction where it's no denying it. This is my purpose. This is what I've meant to do. And I feel wholeheartedly, my intuition tells me like, this is what you need to do, Rayon. This is what you're placed here for. So I'm diving in it wholeheartedly, optimistically. I'm bringing that great energy, and I like to make people feel better about themselves because, as I said before, when you've done that inner work, it's so easy for you to just be a beacon of light. And also, I wanted that growing up. I wanted that, you know, that role model, someone who I could actually look up to. And so, you know, I'm taking the privilege of taking the opportunity, but I'm ready to go. Let's go September 1st.
That's right. Now, this is just the brand. Let's go to the brand. How can someone build a genuine online presence without sacrificing their integrity? I'd like to get your feedback on that.
It goes back to those. Is the brand aligned with your core principles? What is the intention of the brand? Because if you're doing it with intentionality, I mean, you don't have anything to worry about because you're showing up authentically versus being in contrast. You're one way online versus in reality. No, you know, it's almost like a facade. And that's going to come with a level of anxiety because now people are fearful of being exposed or people seeing that this is truly who they aren't. So I think it's very important to make sure that what you practice, what you preach, as I would say. Who you're online is who you're also offline. The brand aligns.
Now, what would you have to say to those persons that are actually looking at, this is off the wall, just looking at podcasts totally differently and saying, well, it's not real. It's not, you're just doing stuff virtually. what would you say to those persons who are not understanding this type of space, why you would choose here? Like they would see the glitz and the glamour of a big time studio and that sort of stuff, or even just trying to tweak the older persons in your family that, look, this is the way I'm going, not because it's not traditional, that it means I'm on the wrong path. What would you say to those persons who are like doubtful that this is the new way?
I would say you have a personal responsibility to yourself, number one, and you have to prioritize what is important to you and also what makes you happy. And if you're doing something that aligns corely with you and it genuinely makes you happy, I understand you'll have, the naysayers and people who do not understand the concept of what is really going on. It's also your responsibility in some ways to educate them in some ways and let them know exactly what it is and what's going on. But also, as they would say, sometimes you have to pick up the mantle and be the sacrificial lamb. And then, people will come along. People will come around eventually, but you cannot base your core expectations on people understanding it. As long as it aligns with you and it's within the core decent principles and you're doing something to help people, go ahead. Go ahead. We need a little bit more love and a less hate in this world. And
tell us about it.
If people are bringing that and putting smiles on people's faces, I'm all for it. You do your thing.
Now, you want to give us a little sneak peek as to what you're looking forward to or how you're preparing for this big launch. I know you told us what your first episode is going to be, but just being responsible, because it's a constant work as a content creator. You got to be preparing for the next episode, So you may have 3 episodes under your belt, but really you want like 8 and 10. Tell us what the life is like behind the scenes of a content creator. You're not doing a live show.
No.
So your yours is done before, and then you cut, you paste, you do all of that sort of stuff. It's a total different dynamic than actually what Sandra and I do live pretty much every day of the week.
Well, right now, I actually with a really amazing guest. We will be talking about breaking generational cycles, which is such an important discussion, and it's going to be really wholesome. It is a host of sending emails, following up. It's a full-time job. Let me say that. It's booking timelines, because some of the guests have different timelines. It's also coming up with creative ideas, sacrificing weekends, sacrificing time. Editing, because I do my own editing and branding. So whether from filming, the production, editing, post-processing, the whole 9 yards, and having those conversations with guests and also trying to book people, and having everything prepared. I will tell you, it's a full-time job, and you have to love it to be able to be consistent with it. And as I said before, I've been in the industry of filming and media for a while, because back home I did, I was a model for Campari and Flow. So I've been in the industry and I've been doing it from a talent perspective, but in terms of a content creator perspective, lucky enough, I had all the equipment. I bought the microphone and all these things, as I said before, 2 years, never knew. But what are the coincidences that all this gear that I bought would be put to use? So learn, and it goes back to learning softwares, because now you have to learn the editing software, the graphic software, the audio software. It's a continuum learning process, and also you take these skills with you.
Correct. Now, I don't even have to ask about what made it cmrtv.com the right home for you. The universe actually placed you. And the timing is perfect, because you were buying all of this equipment, not really realizing that it was preparing you for September 1st. Do you look back from 2 years ago to where you are? And I know it's going to be a very emotional time for you when you do your first upload. provide content when we go live on the 1st. But do you look back and to see exactly how you have evolved without you even questioning it, and how it's prepared you for this very moment right now?
Yes, 150%. I just felt like the universe was just preparing me for this moment, for this time, because in that process of buying all those equipment, I was also learning different concept of editing and lighting and different things that I would need now. And also, I think I would say my life was in a transitional period too, because I don't think I would have the availability or would be able to fit it within my schedule. So everything kind of just aligns exactly how it needs to. And also I had to go to that journey of healing as well. So now I could show up wholesome, authentic, and ready to go.
So I'm excited for you, Rayon. And,
Thank you.
we have a little section here in the show. It's pretty much a fun fact section. And
Sure.
unless there's something more in depth, because I'm having some difficulty and I refuse to even try to troubleshoot it because I don't want to lose you, of getting the images that you shared with me.
That's
But there
fine.
was one that showed, it's like a graph with lines. I think it was the third one or the fourth one. I think that's the model of your coaching. I think that's what it was. Can you explain what that? I don't have access to it right now. It just won't let me in.
Those are the 3 pillars of authenticity, which is first awareness, which is recognizing what you need to do, the work that needs to be done. Then it's clarity, understanding what exactly you need to do. And then the third one, which is sharing that with others. So there are incremental steps in these 3 pillars or foundation of that journey of transformation or authenticity. You have to lay the core basis of the journey that you need to go on. And that's really what the concept is, but I call it the authentic formula. And I share a lot more of that in my podcast. So go ahead. Sorry.
Well, definitely. No, I don't want to cut you. It's your moment to showcase, because we want as much persons to be informed and be prepared to what is in store for them as you unpack and give us a sneak peek into what your podcast show will be about. You're able to see some of those slides. If you don't mind just taking it forward now and speak on those slides, because I can't display them.
Okay, sure. Let me just.
Don't do anything. I want to hear you. I'm afraid we may lose you.
No, on my end, no.
Oh, okay.
No, on
I'm
my
so
end.
scared that we lose you.
I know. No, I'm just pulling it up on my end. I'm sorry.
It's just strange. I can't open it. I had it all lined up, but after you were in and out, and I just can't. I don't have access to them.
In one of the slides, it was speaking about the journey that I had to go on in terms of finding my own healing. And it shows a graphic timeline in terms of the self-doubt, the limiting beliefs, not feeling confident enough, not being able to fit in. And these are the conversations I was having with myself. And these are some of the things that, as I said before, you have to be careful of the conversations that you have, the thoughts that you project to yourself. So it talks about facing identity challenges, because as a young teen transitioning into adulthood, there comes a time when, you have to figure out which direction, where you want to go. Do you want to fit in? Do you want to stand out? Do you want to be authentic, or do you want to be staged? So that was a phase that I personally had to go through, struggling with rejection, loss, self-doubt. And then I found my healing, which is through my faith and my purpose and self-love. I think a big part of it is I struggled a lot to love myself. Yes. And I remember saying this, I said this to a friend. I said, you would never believe I was that person in the class. I know the answer. I'm never gonna put my hands up. That ain't gonna happen. Never gonna happen. I would not.
You were just shy?
I was shy. I was that shy kid who just don't talk. He eats by himself. The loner. That literally was me. And also, as I said, at that time I was struggling with self-doubt and also fitting in. And I think I struggled a lot with loving myself because I looked a lot outside of myself for acceptance versus when I really understood when I actually graduated from high school. I think that's when I took up the mantle because I mean, no, where do we go? What do we want to do? And it was a conscious choice I had to make because now this projects the trajectory of my life. You know, and I think it's at that time, that interim, when you have to have those conversations and really own it. Everything that you've been through, it doesn't define you. It's about how you look at the world and the stories, as I said before, you tell yourself, and also the people you align yourself with, because we are a product of the people we surround ourselves with.
Amen.
So that is a big thing. I think a lot of young people, we should be conscious of the people who we surround ourselves with, the type of conversations that we have, the type of habits that we encourage. It really has a big impact on how we show up in the world and the trajectory also of our lives. You don't want to spend the best years out of your life, you know, encouraging bad habits or harboring these habits, because when you make that transition into, you know, your earlier 30s, based on what I've seen, as I said, living vicariously, now you have to unlearn these behaviors. And that is going to take a whole whirlwind of work. So the earlier you start and the earlier you could look and you could recognize, and as I would say, put your life on that vision board. All the decisions that you've made, put all of them on a sticky note. It's like a roadmap. Be able to look outside of yourself on what has been happening and how you have been living. And really ask yourself the question, am I proud of the person who I am? Am I proud of the journey that I've been making? It's okay to make mistakes, but we just can't continue. We have to choose a different trajectory. And I just, as I said before, I just developed this level of confidence after high school. I was like, it's do or don't. Nobody's coming to save you. I will say that. That's something that I had to learn. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's gonna help you. You have to help yourself. You have
But then
to.
some young persons, actually, you're quite right with all that you're saying there. But then some just saying, look, I will never be accepted. Society will always look at me a certain how. How and what advice would you give to maybe someone watching this or will watch this, especially a young person who find themselves at that crossroad? You managed to identify, you had to take you under control, and you did not make society or what other people thought about you or think about you defined who you are. What nuggets of inspiration or advice would you give to someone who's grappling with, it's best for me to continue to be that negative, that bad person versus really stopping and really embracing me, forgiving myself for all the wrong decisions I've made, and just turn the page whether or not society sees me as a refreshed person, as a new being. What advice would you give to someone who, a young person especially, who may find themselves right where you were, that may need that nugget of advice?
I would say to them, within your lowest moments, in those moments where you feel like giving up, where it feels dark and it feels like there is no more hope, you ask yourself, who are the people around me? Who is offering help? Is it the large majority, the voices, the projection from other people? How have these things contributed? Because they're the main purpose why you're in that dark shroud or why you feel that level of pessimism. But you have to ask yourself those questions of, who am I really, what am I really doing this for? Who am I doing it for? And I think when you're able to really look at that and understand, and as I will always say to people, public opinions don't pay my bills. And I know it probably sounds a bit crude, but in all honesty, let's be honest, it doesn't. You have to be unapologetic. You have to own it. You have to be respectful, but also demand respect.
Say that in the home of a parent who comes from the old school and they lick every teeth out of your head. How do you balance that coming from a traditional Caribbean home to standing up and say, Mom, I hear you, but I got to embrace me. I got to do me. How do you balance that without coming across, as you rightfully say, being rude? Because remember, their foundation, me being 51, born in 1974, having a debate with a younger person, I'm seeing it through a different lens. But your way in actually exchanging for us to communicate is two different spheres. It doesn't mean that either of us are wrong. It's how we're perceiving it, how it's being transmitted. What you would be deemed as just sound debate because it's a conversation. I'm not talking at, we're talking. And how it be looked at as being rude. Well, I could never speak to my mother like that. How do you actually combine that and not be taken rude by certain age groups?
For me, I believe in the core concept. What keeps me accountable is intention. What is the intention behind what I said? Is the intention to hurt, spite, inflict some sort of ill, emotion? Or am I being kind? Am I being honest? Am I being authentic? I use those things to govern how I project myself and how I show up, and also hold myself accountable when I have interactions with people. Because when your core basis or the intention is, I'm just being kind, I'm just trying to be heard, and the other person is, being aggressive or they're taking it as an offense, it's also not your responsibility to control someone else's emotions. People are entitled to their beliefs. You can agree to disagree. But my intention wholeheartedly is just to educate you or just to have a formal conversation. So in some ways, you have to keep yourself accountable to what are the intentions?
Okay. Good for you. I like where this is going, and I hope people will understand and appreciate and not misunderstand what you're saying as being rude, like the Gen X and all of that. I mean, where we're going now with conversations, just break that down with the differentiation in generations then. Because the conversation is different. I see your generation being more vocal. You're out in the front. You're not fearful of having certain conversation in spaces like this and having the real conversations. Whereas you would have had a person from my generation, 70s and before, 60s, are a little more reserved. Where did that get us?
I think that definitely comes from the more access now to actual information. Information is free. There's Google, there's podcasts, there's YouTube. This generation has more access to information of any other generation that ever existed. And I think it's also a responsibility to educate ourselves and be able to, have the proper insight, and also be able to look back at some of the things that were done in the past from the previous generations. Do we really want to go down this road? Do we really want to do these things? Like, it takes that conscious concept of saying, no, it ends with me. I'm not doing this. We are doing things very differently. It's coming from a place of love. I love you, but guess what? What we're doing is very counterproductive. We're not getting anywhere with this. So we have to do things differently. So I think it's definitely that, but it's definitely an access to information and actually people going on their healing journey. Healing is a big thing now for this generation. Before, it wasn't a conversation, it wasn't a topic. People, just go through life, and that's the reason I think there was a lot of bitterness and anguish and, the defensiveness and all of that. But now, more young people are educating themselves and understanding that, we can live a more optimal and an authentic and optimistic life. It just takes work. It takes intentionality. It takes kindness. It takes freedom. It takes acceptance and the willingness to do the work.
Well said. You have 2 more slides, I think, because I'm following you in my head based on what I remember.
Sure.
I'm right,
Sure.
correct? Oh, wow.
Correct. You are correct. You are correct.
Go ahead. You can go straight into the other slide. I know my guests can't, my audience can't see them, but you could just elaborate on the last 2 slides before we go
Okay.
into the fun fact lightning round.
Sure. So the last 2 slides it talks about why is authenticity important. It helps to reduce burnout, build stronger relationships, because a relationship built on facade, that when the mask slips, that's a recipe for disaster. Versus having genuine relationships and interactions with people that are grounded in the intentional love and kindness. It also creates inner peace, because when you're able to accept yourself, you live more freely. You're more disinterested in what other people have to say about you, because guess what? You love you. I love me. So there's nothing you could say about me that's going to make me feel bad about myself. As long as your core principles and who you are as a person is grounded in kindness, empathy, respect, and civility, that's really the core basis of what it means to be authentic. And I have a quote also that says, the world doesn't need more perfect people. It needs more real ones.
Wow.
And I think a lot of people forget that. We live in a world that, in social media, everybody's trying to be perfect. Everybody's trying to create this picture, this persona, when in reality, we are imperfect. You can imagine that mental strain that it takes on people who all of a sudden are plunged in a society that enforces perfection. We're not meant to be perfect by nature. We have flaws. So I think sometimes we have to come back to that place where we have to understand that it's not about perfection, it's about acceptance, and it's also about being real with ourselves.
Yeah, it's not. How do you then balance out? Obviously, you're well on your way. You're able to identify these things. Hence, you have this brand and coming on with your podcast. But
Correct.
doing it for the love and not the likes. I think that's a song, right? That's a line from a song. That is actually going exactly down the path that you alluded to. It has to come from within and not a facade.
You are so correct. It comes from a basis of being that little boy who never felt, confident enough, never felt, good enough. Always comparing yourself to everything and everyone out there. I know how it feels. And I know that in some sense, yes, my mom and my parents, and they were around me and they gave me love and all of that. But I still had a longing for seeing someone who looked like me, who sounded like me, to be like, oh, okay, that's possible. I mean, so for me, it comes from a space of, for all those people who feel like that, listen, I've been there. We could change the narrative. We could take back our story, harness our power, and live a more authentic and optimal life. And that's really what it is. It's really coming from, I've been there. I know what it's like. This is not just, oh, it sounds good. No, it's who I am as a person.
Now that you've accepted and found the true you and living your authentic self, Rayon, what is communication like with your family now?
It's interesting. With any Caribbean family, I think it's interesting. I think it's one of those things where I think the expectation is like, you go and you empower yourself in this world, and you be brave, you be confident, but do not challenge me. And and I think in the sense of challenging, I think it's in the basis of not understanding what the newfound version is. Because now I think they are kind of stuck in the idea of the person who you were or how they've seen you, but they do not understand the growth. It's your responsibility also to educate them. But I'd say it's interesting. But I love my family. I think I'm taking on the mantle of being the person who is creating that pathway. And I think when you create that pathway, you show people that there's a different way of doing things. And also, I want the legacy to be something that we could be proud of, something that I could be proud of, you know? And who else to do it?
You're a catalyst of change in that family, and I'm quite sure sometimes you must I'm speaking English, but nobody's understanding me. And it's exactly, yeah, it's like you're a lone soldier, but you're consistent in being authentically you, and eventually they will respect you.
They will, and it comes from, it's all love. So, and also too, I think when you're able to accept your humanity, you understand and accept others. You know, a lot of things sometimes are not necessarily the immediate reaction based on you as a person. Sometimes it's a lot of projection, and I also understand that. I have grace for them, and I have grace for myself, and I love them. So, you know, we're always going to be family. I look forward to having them on the show.
Oh, that'll be interesting. Yes, I'm quite sure. You must have great ideas, and I'm quite sure as you have one episode behind the other one, there will be other ideas that comes about. And I love roundtable discussions. So again, it would be good to have the balance, an age balance in one forum, just bouncing things off of each other. That, in my humble opinion, as we were talking before the show,
Yes.
will show the difference in lingo, in language, how we process the very same question, but based on generational comprehension.
That is correct.
It's the same question, but we will see it based on, let's say, 3 age groups. You will see it all differently. And no one is wrong. It's just how you perceived it based on what is your core foundation and your upbringing, your culture.
That is true. I agree with you 100%. The lines of communication hasn't broken down. It is the interpretation of information that has changed. So it's definitely based on how we perceive the information that is being projected to us. And also, I think it's also important to listen, you know, with your heart and understand that most of the times when people are speaking to you, it's coming from somewhere. And if there's anything that I've learned doing this is people like to be heard. People like to be heard. Everybody has a story, and people don't like other people telling their stories. And that's why authentic is, you know, I'm the core belief of authentic is you reclaim your story. You tell your story. You be the mastermind of your own story. And even it's something I have to do in my own life, because if I don't tell my story, someone else will. And do I want it to be told? No.
Yeah.
I will take the responsibility of telling my story exactly how it is.
Well, definitely a total different perspective and generation of just congratulations for actually stepping up to the plate and doing this, Rayon. Let's have some fun giggles with you just for a little bit.
Please.
I won't throw you under the bus too far. Now,
that's fine. Let's go.
If you could have any superpower, what would it be and why? Any superpower.
If I could have any superpower, what would it be and why? I would say, I want to say the ability to heal.
Why?
Yeah, because I think, you know, as I said, it's a journey and it's a process for a lot of people who, you know, they've lived this type of life within their, you know, 20s or whatever, and now they're in the process of transitioning into a more wholesome life. Healing is a long journey and it's a long process, and a lot of people unfortunately don't even get to the finish line. You know, it is interesting, but I think having that ability to heal people, yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Oh, what's a quirky habit that you have that no one knows about until today?
I wouldn't say it's a habit, but I think it would be a surprise. Well, it would be very contradicting of who I am. I'm very introverted.
Really? Okay.
I am very introverted, but because, as I said, when things are rooted in the passion, it's almost like light, camera, action, and it's like,
let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah. You would never.
But besides that, I'm just like really, in my cocoon.
I think we have a lot more in common than you actually would recognize. And
Really?
you will find that out in the interview. But let's continue. What's the most you what's one thing you absolutely can't live without besides your phone?
Music.
Really?
I need it.
What genre?
Everything, but mostly feel good music. I'm a sucker for feel good music. Trust me, I pop it on, and the funny thing about it is that I'll be feeling good in the morning, and I'm sending the songs to my friends, or I'm sending them a little quote like, "Girl, have a great day today. You're beautiful. So my friends are like, "Oh my God, you're so sweet," because I tend to want to like. You feel good, you make other people feel good.
Good. Now, final one. What's one thing most people don't know about you that has nothing to do with your work? Maybe it could be a hobby or a hidden talent or even a favorite place to travel.
I can sing.
Don't know about you.
I can sing. Yeah, I just don't.
In the shower?
Like sing.
Really?
But please don't put me on the spot.
No, you get away because it's not Wind Down Friday. Anyhow, this was a Friday, you would not get away with it.
I'm gonna have to join Wind Down Friday.
You're always welcome, Rayon. Any wrap-up thoughts, any closing thoughts you'd like to leave with us?
Sure. I will leave you with this quote, which says, "The most powerful thing you can be in this world is unapologetic, unshakably yourself."
Oh. Thank you so much. And I really look forward to seeing your podcast, and I'm quite sure you will define the dates and all that sort of stuff. And leading up to the first, I'm quite sure you'll have your website or your Facebook page and all that good stuff. You will be sharing all of your content there.
Yes, I look forward to it. And I want to say a big shout out to CMR and Sandra for, providing this opportunity for people to come in and share their voices, and just form a close-knit family that is all about, encouraging and really cheering on each other. We need, as I said before, we need a lot more love in this world.
More of this.
Yep, we do. So I just want to say I'm excited to be a part of it, and I just can't wait. September 1st, let's go.
There we go. But a huge thank you to you, and all the best. I'm looking forward to your work and looking forward to a close working relationship with you as we continue to build this family.
Yes, and we definitely have our interviews coming up, so I'm looking forward to that as well.
Oh, I'm going to have you cracking up.
It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you again for the invite. You too.
Always welcome.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it. And yes, we've come to the end of today's episode of Sabrina Speaks. And again, I want to publicly thank or give a huge thank you to our guest, Rayon L. Francis. What a charming young man. And I wish him all the best on his platform for that insightful, despite it getting off to a glitchy start. You know what? That just shows the drive. It just shows the power of the nature of this work that we do here. For those of you who are joining us pretty much at the late end, we dove into the power of authenticity, and the secrets of what life is like behind the scenes of being exactly what we're doing, and the importance of being true to your brand. I totally want to support this young man, and I'm hoping that you will as well, and that you are excited and busting at the seams to see exactly and support his podcast shows when they're part of the content group. But looking ahead, we're excited for what's next. I am for what's excited for Rayon, and I think you can be as well. So tune in to support his new brand, his podcast that will be launching here on cmrtv.com on the 1st of September. Yes, and I'm sure you wouldn't want to miss it. I'm quite sure he didn't give us all of the secrets about him. I tried to pull it out to him. I was going to ask him one question: what's the weirdest thing you have in your fridge? But you know what? Maybe he'll tell us that. But that was too funny. But again, I want to thank you all, to our listeners, for joining us, for our viewers who pretty much log on here religiously. Connie, Lisa Brightly, welcome. You can scroll back. Shaka Zulu, thank you for the heads up as well. And to every one of you who subscribe, follow, and always tune in, even though if it's after the fact. We appreciate your continued support. I actually do. And I can't wait to bring you another powerful conversation, and that's tomorrow. But until then, please stay inspired and don't ever forget this. Keep speaking your truth. I'm Sabrina, and that ends another Sabrina Speak. Have a great afternoon. God bless. That's a wrap for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks. Thank you for tuning in and for being part of the conversation. Remember, the dialogue doesn't stop here. Stay engaged, stay informed, and most importantly, stay empowered. We'll be back tomorrow at 5 p.m., same time, same place, right here on CMR TV and radio, where your voice matters and your truth is heard. Until then, K-Man, take care of yourself and each other.
That's it for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks, where your voice matters, your story counts, and your truth is always welcome. Join us weekdays from 5 until 6:30 p.m. right here on CMR TV as we dive into the topics that matter most to you. Catch the show live or on demand at cmrtv.com. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram so you never miss a moment. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and always speak your truth.